prime my face first, and I'm going to use the Australis See You Later Pores. Because I'm using a sort of matte foundation today, I'm going to go in with two different primers. So the first one is the one to get rid of my pores and to make sure that the foundation sits nicely over my skin and doesn't sink into my pores as much. And the other one's just going to be an illuminating one, just so that the foundation isn't quite as matte. So it just gets a slightly dewy look to it. So the dewy sort of primer I'm going to use is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique. Just going to rub that into my face. Okay, so the foundation I'm going to use is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. In Australia, I think it's got a different name. It's not called Pro Matte, it's called something else, and the packaging's a little bit different, but essentially it's the same product. And I'm just going to apply it with a beauty blender. And just a touch more sort of through the centre part of my face. This really is a beautiful foundation if you want that really flawless look without having to use a truckload of foundation. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I use the colour 103 Natural Buff. I don't know whether that colour is available in Australia, because I know that they haven't released all the shades here, but it's pretty much a medium beige colour. I did get a bit darker than what I would have normally got in winter, because I put fake tan on to make it match, or I bronze up my skin to make it match, and it'll match me in summer. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera now and do my eyebrows and one eye, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've done one eye and I've done my brows, so I'm just going to go through what products that I've used on my brows. So I've used the Maybelline Master Shape Eye Studio pencil in soft brown, deep brown, and then the L'Oreal Brow Artist Shaper in brunette, and then I've set my eyebrows with my Brow Artist Plumper in medium dark, and I've also primed my lids using the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. So let's get on and do this eye. So the shadows that I'm using today for this look are just Too Faced shadows, and they're in a Z palette that I have depotted. So I'm actually just sticking with these sort of purpley shades here and a couple of the brownie shades as well. So the first shade that I'm going to start off with is this one here, and it's just a sort of cream coloured shadow just to go over the lid to set that base, and it is called In the Buff. So just using a no-name brush that's just nice and fluffy just to go right over the lid. So just picking up this sort of matte, light sort of lilac shade, and then this sort of matte medium brown shade, and they're called Cut the Cake and Teddy Bear. So I'm going to put both of those onto a big round fluffy brush and work those colours through my crease. So just going back into the product multiple times to get the desired intensity that I want. So just working that sort of right on the crease and above so that those shadows blend out nicely. Doesn't matter if those shadows go onto the lid, because we're using a purple shadow onto the lid. Don't have to worry about being too precise on that outer corner either, because we're going to use some concealer to clean up any of the fallout and sharpen that corner out. Okay, so the shadow that we're going to use all over the lid today is this one here, and it's called Fromboise. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's a really duochromy purple colour. I have to admit that it is quite hard to get the intensity that I want using a eyeshadow brush, but I'm just using a flat shader brush just to pack that colour on. I do think that the colour is a bit better put on with your fingers though. So just packing this colour all over the lid. And up to the crease. I'm going to have a fair bit of fallout from this one, but as I said before, don't worry about it, we'll clean it up with concealer. This is going to be more like a wearable purple smoky eye. And then just going to dip the same eyeshadow brush into the product like this to get it on the tip and just run that under the bottom of my eye. And just going back into that fluffy brush just to blend out any of those harsh lines. And then I'm just going to squeeze the brush together and go back into those first two colours that we used in the crease and just blend them on the underside of the lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick up the darkest colour out of those purples, which is this one here, and it's called First Dance. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques base shadow brush and just tapping a touch into that product, and we're going to work that through the outer sort of V just to get a little bit of dimension and depth there. And because it's a nice big sort of fluffy brush, it's going to do all the blending out for us, and it's barely picking up any product. And we're just basically just tapping that in there. And just slightly up into the crease. Blend out with that first brush. Just grabbing that big sort of brush that we put the cream coloured shadow on, just tipping back into that cream colour and just running over the top edge just to make sure it's all blended out. Inner corner highlight. I'm using two shadows. So this sort of really, yes, this one, sort of shimmery pink colour, and also this sort of shimmery golden colour. Just going to mix those two together and pop them on the inner corner. And just blend them, make sure, blend the colours into each other. Onto the lid. And just lost a bit of intensity on that inner third, that purple shadow, so just going back in and popping that back on. Just going to go over the bottom waterline with a Rimmel Exaggerate waterproof eye definer in deep wine, and also just going to smudge that into the lashes themselves on the lower lash line and the upper lash line as well. Sorry about the web frame for this. I'm going to pop on some mascara, and today I'm using the L'Oreal False Lash Butterfly Wings. So a couple of really good coats of that. Just to add a little bit of extra definition to that purple colour, I'm just going to use my Australis Metallix eyeshadow in Lana Del Grey, and I'm just going to put a touch onto my little finger and then just in the middle of my eyelid. Just to add a little bit extra sparkle. What do you think? Okay, so just going to clean up some of that fallout. So I'm going to go in first with the Chi Chi 3-in-1 Eye Concealer. Blend it out using a Models Prefer Airbrush Concealer Brush. And all the fallout is gone. Oh, my battery's flashing. No! I'm just going to use some of the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer in Ivory, and I'm just going to use this to highlight. So under my eyes, all the usual places that I like to highlight. I love this brush, it just blends everything out so nicely. And so quickly too. If you ever have issues with your concealer not being able to be blended out, go and get yourself one of these big fluffy airbrush concealer brushes like this one from Models Prefer, or the e.l.f. one that I absolutely love as well. God, it'll just make your life so much easier. Okay, so I'm going to pop on a little bit of powder just to set all of that makeup. I'm not going to go too far underneath the eyes because I'm going to be doing a review on a new contouring and highlighting palette. So I'm just going to set the rest of my face with the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in medium. And I'm just using a big Real Techniques cheek brush. So not using too much powder because I still want to keep that nice sort of dewy, glowy look to the skin. So just really light amount down. And I'm going to pop on a bit of setting spray just to help lock everything in. And that's just the Australis Makeup Finishing Spritz. And I'm just going to pop on some lipstick as well. So the lip liner I'm going to use today is the MAC Lip Liner in Subculture. Just is a nice nude, and I've just slightly overdrawn my lips on the lower sort of outer corners and just a touch on the top outer corners. And then I'm just going to pop on the Too Faced Melted Liquefied Lipstick in Melted Nude. These lipsticks are so nice and moisturising. Okay, so I'm just going to go away, film the other part of my tutorial, and I'll come back when I put on my blush and show you the last sort of final look. I finished off the rest of my makeup and I put on my blush and my bronzer and my highlight and my contour. I'll just quickly run through what products I used. So for blush today, I just used the Benefit Coralista blush, and then for my bronzer, highlight and contour, I used the new Models Prefer Contour Highlighting Ultimate Highlighting and Contouring Palette. So I'm putting up a review on this product as well, so I don't know which video is going to go up first. I hope that you liked this smoky purple haze eye makeup that I did today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. If you've got any ideas or want to see anything, any videos in particular, don't hesitate to write them in the comments section down below. Give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.